Hello students, today we will study about the pollination and its types. So first we start from the pollination. What is the pollination? Pollination is the transfer transferal of pollen grains from the open anther of the stamen to the receptive stigma of the carpel. Pollination is of two types. One is the self pollination and other is the cross pollination. What is the self pollination? Self pollination involves the transfer of pollen grains from the anthers of a flower to the stigma of the same flower or genetically similar flower. Self pollination is of two types. First, that is the autogamy, and second is the geitonogamy. Autogamy is a kind of pollination in which the pollen from the anthers of a flower are transferred to the stigma of the same flower. It occurs by three methods. First, cleistogamy. Second, homogamy. Third, bud pollination. In first, cleistogamy, some plants never open to ensure complete self pollination. Some plants never open to ensure complete self pollination. Complete self pollination. This condition is called cleistogamy. Example, oxalis. The cleistogamous flowers are bisexual, small, inconspicuous, colorless, and do not secrete the nectar. Next, that is homogamy. Anthers and stigma of the bisexual flowers of some plants mature at the same time. They are brought close to each other by growth, bending, or folding to ensure the self pollination. This condition is called homogamy. Example, 4 o'clock plant, potato, sunflower, etc. Third, bud pollination. Anthers and stigma of the bisexual flowers of some plants mature before the opening of the bud to ensure the self pollination. Example, wheat, rice, pea, etc. Next, that is the geitonogamy. It is a kind of pollination in which the pollen from the anthers of one flower are transferred to the stigma of another flower born on the same plant. It usually occurs in plants which show monoecious conditions, means unisexual. Male and female flowers are born on the same plants. Next, advantages of the self-pollination. In this case, the chances of pollination are more. Self-pollination maintains purity of the race and avoids mixing. Next, it needs not to produce a large number of pollen grains. Next, flowers need not to possess devices such as large and showy petals. Not to possess devices such as large and showy means colored petals, presence of scent and nectar to attract the pollinators. And disadvantages of the self pollination: one, that is progeny continuously gets weaker after every generation. Next, less chances of the production of new species and varieties. Next type pollination, that is the cross pollination. Cross pollination involves the transfer of pollen grains from the flower of one plant to the stigma of the flower of another plant. It is also called genogamy, allogamy. The main floral characteristics which facilitate cross pollination are hercogamy, dichogamy, self incompatibility, male sterility, dioecium, heterostyle. So first start from the hercogamy. Hercogamy. Flowers possess some mechanical barriers on their stigmatic surface to avoid self-pollination. To avoid self-pollination, that is the presence of gynosporium and pollinia in Calotropis. Next, that is the dichogamy. Pollen and stigma of the flowers. Pollen and stigma of the flower mature at different times to avoid self-pollination. To avoid the self-pollination. It is of two types: protandry, and progyny. So first, that is the protandry. When androecium matures and shed pollen before gynoecium, example maize, and reverse, that is the protogyny. When gynoecium matures earlier than androecium, example Aristolochia, bajra. Next, that is the self incompatibility. Self incompatibility. In some plants, the mature pollen fall on the receptive stigma of the same flower but fail to bring about self-pollination. It is called self-incompatibility. Under such condition, the cross-pollination is the only option. Next, that is the male sterility. male sterility. The pollen grains of some plants are not functional. Such plants set seeds only after cross pollination. Next, dioecium. Cross pollination always occurs in dioecium. Cross pollination always occurs when the plants are unisexual and dioecious, means male and female flowers occur on separate plants. Example papaya, some cucurbits, etc. Next, that is the heterostyly. Heterostyly. The flowers of some plants have different lengths of stamens, and styles, so that the self-pollination is not possible and ensure the cross-pollination. Example primula, etc. Next, that is the agents which or vectors which are responsible for cross pollination in angiosperms have been grouped into two main categories, that is abiotic and biotic agencies. In case of abiotic agencies, that is anemophily, means wind, hydrophily, that is water. In case of biotic agencies, entomophily, that is insects, means through the insects. Next, ornithophily, that is by the help of the birds. Chiropterophily, that is by the help of the bats. So students, we will study one by one about these agents or vectors which are responsible for the pollination. First, we start from the anemophily, that is wind pollination. Anemophily is a mode of pollination or transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma through the agency of wind or vector of wind. The flowers which are wind pollinated are called the anemophilous flower. Anemophilous flowers are characterized by the different adaptations. First, that is flowers are small, colorless, inconspicuous, odorless, and nectarless. Next, calyx and corolla are either reduced or absent. Next, anthers are usually versatile. Next, when flowers are unisexual, male flowers are more abundant than female flowers. In bisexual flowers, the stamens are generally numerous. Next, pollen grains are small, light, dry, dusty, and sometimes winged, so that they are easily blown away to long distances. In some cases, that is up to 1300 km. Next, pollen grains of anemophilous flowers are produced in huge quantities. For example, a single flower of cannabis produces approximately 5000 pollen grains. Next, the flowers are well exposed in the air. In certain cases, they are produced above the foliage before the appearance of new leaves. You see here, in case of the maize, the stigma are large, well exposed, hairy, like this in the maize, feathery or branched to catch the airborne pollen grains. To catch the airborne pollen grains. Next, in some plants, the anthers burst suddenly to throw the pollen grains into the air. The common examples of wind pollinated flowers are grasses, sugarcane, maize, bamboo, coconut plant, cannabis, etc. Next, that is the hydrophily, means water pollinated or water pollinations. Hydrophily is a mode of pollination to transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma through the agency of water. The hydrophilous flowers are characterized by following adaptations. Flowers are small, colorless, inconspicuous, odorless, and nectarless. Calyx, corolla, and other floral parts are unvetable. Pollen grains and stigma are generally unvetable. Stigma are large or long and sticky. Hydrophily is not very common and occurs only in a few aquatic plants. Example: Vallisneria, Hydrilla, Ceratophyllum, etc. In Ceratophyllum, a totally submerged freshwater plant, the male flowers bears 30 to 45 stamens. Mature anthers abscise at the base, rise upwardly, reach to the surface of water and dehisce. The liberated pollen grains germinate and sink. While sinking in water, they come in contact with long and sticky stigma of female flowers to effect the pollination. In case of Vallisneria is a submerged freshwater hydrophyte, is a dioecious plant. Mature male flowers are abscised from the spadix and float and float on the surface of water. The mature female flowers also float on the water surface but remains attached to the female plants with the help of long stalk. With the help of long stalks, the floating female flowers have large sticky trifid stigma. Large sticky trifid stigmas. While floating, the male flowers come close to female flowers where anthers burst to reduce the pollens to release the to release the pollens. Pollination occurs on the surface of water. After the pollination, the female flowers are pulled down inside the water by the coiling of the flower stalk, flo- by the coiling of the flower stalks. Next, that is the entomophily. Entomophily is a mode of pollination or the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma through the agency of insects, that is the insect pollination. The most common insect pollinators are moths, flies, butterflies, wasps, bees, beetles, etc. The beetles are probably the oldest group of insects which pollinated the ancient angiosperms. The entomophilous flowers are characterized by the following adaptations. In these adaptations, the flowers are usually large, conspicuous, brightly colored, and showy to attract the insect pollinators. Next, usually the petals of entomophilous flowers are large and attractive. When they are small and inconspicuous, other parts of the plant enlarge and becomes attractive. For example, leaves of Poinsettia in the region of flowers become wholly or sparsely colored. Similarly, bracts in Bougainvillea, single petal, single sepal in Masunda and patches in Ariodes are attractive. Small flowers bloom in bunches to attract the insects. Sometimes they are condensed together to form a head, example sunflower. Usually such condition a single insect pollinators a large number of flowers. Different colors of flowers attract different insects. For example, white color of flowers attracts moths. Red color attracts butterflies and wasps. Bees are BWS honeybee are color blind for red. They use ultraviolet radiation for the observation. The red color appears black in UV radiation. In this case, the flowers usually blossom at a specific time when the particular insect pollinator is available. For example, moths visit flowers which open after sunset. Similarly, bees, flies, and beetles visit the flowers which open in the daytime. Entomophilous flowers usually produce specific odors to attract specific insects. For example, flies are attracted by the unpleasant smell of flowers. Some flowers produce pleasant smell and sweet fragrance to attract insects from long distances. Example rose, jasmine, etc. Generally, moth pollinated flowers blossom at or after dusk. They produce heavily fragrance to guide the moths. Pollen grains of certain flowers are edible. Many insects visit these flowers to eat their pollens or to carry them for their brood of larvae. Nectar secreted from nectaries is an important sources of food for certain insect pollinators. Usually the nectars are poison. Usually the nectaries are positioned in floral parts in such a way that the insect visitor touches both the anthers and stigmas during the extraction of nectar. The outer surface of pollen grains may be rough, spiny, or sticky. Angiospermous pollen also possesses yellow sticky substance called the pollen kit, which acts as insect attractant and is an and as an adherent to the insect body and as an adherent to the insect body. Among insects, bees are the most common pollinators, which pollinate about 80% of the total insect pollinated flowers. Means bees are the most important pollinators. They visit flowers to collect their food, pollen and nectar in their pollen baskets. A detailed study of interrelationship between the structure of flower and insect pollination clearly indicate that some angiosperm plants are dependent upon a particular type of insects for the pollinations. There are some examples. That is, one is the pollination in salvia. Students, ये जो example है pollination in salvia, maybe come 2 or 3 marks. The genus Salvia belongs to the family Labiatae, mint family, in which the Gamopetalous corolla is two-lipped. Is two-lipped, means bilabiate. The lower lip provides platform for the lower lip provides platform, you see here, for the visiting insect, and the upper lip is just like a hood which protects the floral organs. The flowers are protandrous. Protandrous means anther are mature earlier than the female sex, means ovule or gynoecium. Each flower has two epipetalous stamens located anterolateral in position. Each stamen has a short filament and an elongated curved connective. Elongated curved connective. The anthers has two parts. One half is sterile. One half is sterile and another half is fertile. Both the parts of anther are separated apart due to elongation. Due to the elongation. Due to the elongation of connective. That elongation is due to the connective. The elongated connective has two unequal arms. The upper arm is long and curved. It bears the female lobe of anther. The lower arm of connective is short and bears the sterile lobe of anther. The two sterile lobes jointly form a sterile plate of tissue which is placed at the mouth of corolla tube and partially blocks the path of the visiting insects. The upper fertile lobes are sheltered sheltered in the upper lip of corolla. As a bee visits the young flower and moves inward in search of nectar, it head, its head pushes the style plate, which brings down the fertile anther lobe to strike against its back. That is here, to strike its back, उसकी पीठ पर. The pollen grains are deposited upon the back of the bee or insect. When the pollen dusted bee visits older flower, its back rubs against the mature stigma, bringing about the pollination. Since the bisexual flower of salvia are protandrous, cross pollination occurs only when pollen dusted bee visits older flowers with mature gynosium. Next, that is the pollination in orchid operage. You see the figure, that is this. The orchid operage has a very strange relationship with its insect pollinator, a hairy wasp. The orchid bears flowers which resemble the female wasp in color, odor, and appearance. The male of wasp matures first and leaves the burrow about 4 weeks before the female come out for open air mating. The inexperienced male try to pseudocopulate the orchid flowers, presuming them as their female partners and bring about pollination. Next, that is the pollination in ficus. Hypanthodia of ficus plants require wasp pollinator. The inflorescence hypanthodium is closed from all the sides, that is you see here, all the sides except an apical narrow opening through which the wasps enter into it. The wasp lay their eggs inside the hypanthodium, where the young ones feed upon the gallflowers. As the wasps come out of the hypanthodium, they drop the pollens of male flowers situated near the orifice on the female flowers located at the base to effect the or to ensure the pollination. Next, that is the ornithopily, that is pollination by the birds. Is a this type pollination presumed by birds. The act of pollination is not performed by all the birds except a few. The most common bird pollinators are sunbird, hummingbird, crow, bulbul, parrot, etc. The birds visit a large variety of flowers such as bombax, coral tree, bottlebrush, agave. More than 100 species of Australian birds, Australian plants are pollinated by the birds. Hummingbird pollinates while hovering hovering over the flowers and sucking the nectar. The bird can devise about half of its body weight of nectar in a single day. Birds can drive, means takes, collect about half of its body weight of nectar in a single day. The nectar is chiefly made up of sugars and provides a sweet drink to the bird. This type this pollination this type of pollination is characterized by different adaptations. The flowers are usually large in size. They have a tubular or funnel-shaped corollas. The flowers are brightly colored, such as red, yellow, orange, blue, etc., which attract the birds from long distances. The flowers produce abundant watery nectar. They are usually scentless. Next type of pollination, and that is chiropterophily, means by the agency of the bat, chamgadar. Is a mode of pollination performed. It is a mode of pollination performed by the bats. The bats are nocturnal flying mammals which move swiftly and transport pollen grains to long distances, sometimes over 30 kilometers. The flowers they visit are large, dull colored, and have a strong scent. The flowers produce abundant pollen grains and secrete more nectar than the ornithophilous flowers. Ornithophilous flowers. Some of the common plants are sage trees, baobab tree, kadam tree, etc. Each flower of Adenosonia baobab, baobab tree has 1500 to 2000 stamens. Next, the advantages of cross pollination. Cross pollination brings about genetic recombination and produce of new varieties or variations. Cross pollination results in healthy and stronger offspring due to phenomenon of hybrid vigor. Several crop plants, example mustard, sunflower, safflower, clover, cucurbits, almonds, give significantly higher yields if bees are available and cross pollination is allowed to occur. Variations caused due to cross pollination may result in production of disease resistant plants. Cross pollination results in the production of seeds in self sterile plants. Next, disadvantages of cross pollination. Cross pollination is not economical. The plants waste a lot of energy and food materials in unnecessary adaptations and devices to bring about the cross pollination. Cross pollination is uncertain because a factor of chance is always involved. Cross pollination involves addition of some undesirable character or loss of some important character. Students, the pollination and types of its types. or types of pollination is finished in this video. Thanks.